Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, and to our witnesses for being here today, and thank you so much for your service to our nation. For 80 days, the administration has waged a war in Iran without congressional authorization or the approval of the American people. The administration has spent at least $29 billion in taxpayer funds on the president's war of choice, billions in funding that could have gone to health care or lowering the cost of living. We all agree that Iran should never have a nuclear weapon. But last June, the administration had stated that Iran's nuclear facilities were obliterated. Congress has yet to see proof that there was an imminent threat, and the administration has failed to explain to Americans how this war is in our nation's best interest or what the end goal or exit strategy truly is. To me, this is unacceptable. The New Mexicans that sent me to Congress to represent them deserve answers, and I'm here to get them. So let's get started. Assistant Secretary, earlier this month, the President publicly stated that the war was, and I quote, terminated. Could you tell the American people today that this war is over?
Congressman, as the President stated, we were pursuing some specific military objectives, and he said that that phase of major combat operations was over, and we were transitioning to the Project Freedom, and we're in a ceasefire now with a blockade going on, and so
Assistant Secretary, if a constituent asked me that question in very plain language, as many New Mexicans speak, Congressman Vasquez, is the war over? What should I tell them?
we have a ceasefire.
We have a ceasefire. So does that mean the war is essentially over? Is that a yes or no?
I would answer by saying that we are in a state of ceasefire.
Well, the war is now approaching 3 months, and let's be clear, it's never ended, and Congress has never authorized these military actions. A large U.S. military presence in the Strait of Hormuz remains blockading Iranian ports, which under international law is an act of war itself. Additionally, the administration recently struck multiple sites and Iranian flagged ships. Our troops are still at risk, and just yesterday, the president publicly threatened more military strikes against Iran. We're clearly still in a war, and American taxpayers are paying for it. Now, gas prices in New Mexico are at about $4.50 per gallon. They're paying double for their fertilizer. I just spoke to 4 farmers in my district who potentially will have to shut down their operations if they don't have relief anytime soon. My constituents want this war over. What's the administration's exit strategy? What's the efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, Secretary?
That's certainly part of the negotiations that are ongoing as we speak.
Assistant Secretary, before the war, an average of 100 ships per day were passing through the strait. Now at least 1,000 are stranded with only a handful per day passing through. How soon before a return to normal?
I don't have a specific timeline for you. As has been stated already, the Strait of Hormuz, you have a situation with multiple players there, including a highly degraded foe, Iran, who still is speaking loudly, as Admiral Cooper said, and the flow through the strait is not only impacted by real military capabilities, which have been seriously degraded, but also the decision-making of commercial actors as well, and their calculus as they think about their own operations.
And Assistant
so
Secretary,
scenario.
Is the option still to escort ships through the strait? Is that still an option that's viable?
Our department will be responsive to any option or any directive that the president gives us.
Okay.
Forward.
Well, I just think it's important because it seems like every day we have different strategies of how to reopen or open the flow of the Strait of Hormuz. My constituents ask me, and I can't give them a straight answer because, like you mentioned, the president changes his mind on a daily basis, and it is very tough to have predictability, especially in the economy, if we know that all those tankers are essentially, it'll be months before they get here. Perhaps oil and gas will come first, but fertilizer will come second, leaving our farmers probably till the fall or winter before they see those prices go down, and that is a problem. And so to me and to the American people, the lack of this clear vision for how the U.S. is going to get out of this war or reopen the strait is really, really concerning. No one asked for this. Americans voted for a president who promised to keep our country out of senseless forever wars. And today that promise, as we see, is broken. This war of choice is costing the American people billions as their cost of living continues to spike from inflation, from rising gas prices, and from tariffs. Those are the folks that I represent and what they care about. And we just learned that our largest military objective is simply to get us back to where we started before the war. The American people deserve to know why they're sending their sons and daughters to war. They deserve to know how long this war will last and how much it will cost. They deserve to know if it's going to endanger American lives and civilians domestically and abroad. And they deserve to know when the price of damn gas is going to go back down again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Gentlemen.